has a very clear policy on artificial intelligence. President Trump announced on his first full day in office that America is in an AI race with China, declaring, "We have an emergency, we have to get this stuff built." The stated plan was to deregulate the industry, get out of Silicon Valley's way, and let American tech champions dominate the global market. It now turns out that getting out of Silicon Valley's way involves the Commerce Department sending a letter to your CEO on a Friday evening, giving you 90 minutes to shut down the company's most advanced product. The letter that Dario Amodi received was what's known as an is-informed letter.
Do you understand why Anthropic shut all of it down and not just to foreigners? Do people understand that issue? I've never explained this, and I'm not sure if people automatically understand it or not. No, I don't care. Okay.
Minutes to shut down the company's most advanced product. The letter that Dario Amodi received was what's known as an is-informed letter, a private notice that the government uses in export control cases to tell a company that from now on it needs a license for things it didn't need a license for yesterday. It directed Anthropic to suspend all access to the Fable 5 and Mythos 5 models by any foreign national anywhere in the world.
Basically, once the government puts you on notice for a particular thing, you have a liability now to enforce it. And if you feel like you don't have the time to implement a solution to enforce the thing, you just have to shut it all off completely. Otherwise, you're just basically trusting that the government isn't going to fucking destroy your company, right? So like, let's say today, Trump was to ring me up and he was like, "Steven, foreigners can no longer watch your stream. You've got 90 minutes. And if anybody watches it, I'm going to come and beat the shit out of you." Well, I would probably shut my stream off completely. You could say, well, couldn't Jader just ban foreign IPs? And I was like, maybe, but I don't know if there are other ways for them to get through. I don't know if VPNs are going to count or not. The U.S. government hasn't clarified their position on that. I don't know if my thing being restreamed by other servers counts. Like, there would just be too many questions, and I wouldn't want to continue to stream and risk that the government might completely destroy my entire business, right? So for Anthropic, I don't think they had a heads up on this at all. So they had no way to implement this in a way that they could guarantee themselves as not having insane amounts of liability should the government decide to enforce whatever arbitrary rule that they've made.
The letter, a private notice from Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, gave no specific basis for why the restrictions were necessary, but cited US laws that allowed the government to impose export controls on civilian technology that could be used for intelligence purposes. It went on to say, until further notice, you must submit an application for an individually validated license prior to the export of the...
There's another thing, I know I've said this a million times. Fuck, somebody in my subreddit was like, Tess needs to explain the basic things more. I feel like I do this so much. This is not even if you're citing laws here, this is just not real. This is not a real good faith request from the government, okay? When the government is going to implement massive changes or make an industry-wide thing that's going to affect a ton of companies, what you typically see is you would see the government would proactively reach out to companies, or they would make something known, and then the companies would begin to develop a solution, and you'd have like this back and forth. If it's a new federal rule, you've got like a 90-day public commentary period. Like there's stuff that goes on here so that the rule can be implemented. When the government just drops some breaking, earth-shattering rule in your lap like this, and you have like, what was it, like days to become compliant with it? That's not workable. The goal is to fuck you over there.
The Mythos or Fable models to any destination worldwide or to any foreign person wherever they're located. It then threatened criminal and civil penalties if the company failed to comply. If you run a global tech business with hundreds of millions of users, verifying the exact citizenship and immigration status of every single person visiting your website or using your API on a Friday evening is difficult. The exception is probably Palantir. But because there's no foolproof way to instantly separate the Americans from the foreign nationals online, Anthropic had no real choice within 90 minutes other than to hit the kill switch for absolutely everyone. They abruptly disabled Fable 5 and Mythos 5 globally, ensuring compliance by simply axing their own product. Now, the government insisted that this was
I have no doubt in my mind that the Trump admin has or is planning to tell Dario that they'll pull the export control ban for 5 to 10% of the company. Trump literally blackmailed Lip Boot Tan to get $INTC warrants worth like 10%.